Have you ever wondered what the real risks are of sleeping a few hours every night? And have you ever considered the impact that lack of sleep could have on your daily life and long-term health? If you are among those who sleep little and badly, or you know someone you love who has similar problems, the time has come to stop for a moment and reflect on how important it is to take care of your sleep. Thanks to the Zen story that you will hear shortly, you will understand what the consequences of poor sleep are and what happens if you sleep less than 6 hours a night. So, if you want to understand how to increase the quantity, but above all the quality, of your sleep, stay until the end and you will discover effective strategies and advice to guarantee a regenerating rest and improve your overall health. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to be informed when we publish new content. In a quiet Buddhist monastery lived the elderly monk Miyoko, famous for his wisdom and his knowledge of the human body and mind. One day during a lesson, he decided to talk to his disciples about the importance of sleep in all of our lives. My dears, Miyoko began in a calm voice, "Today I wish to explore with you the importance of sleep and the impact that a lack of adequate rest can have on our well-being. Sleep is a fundamental element for our balance," Miyoko continued. During sleep, in fact, our body regenerates and our mind relaxes, allowing us to face life's challenges with clarity and vigor. So, he said seriously, when we deprive ourselves of needed sleep, we put not only our physical health at risk, but also our emotional well-being and spiritual growth. As the disciples listened attentively, Miyoko continued, "Before we get to the consequences of bad sleep, it is important that you understand the following. As you may know, there are two phases that play a crucial role in our restorative rest: REM sleep and non-REM sleep," the monk said. REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, is a phase in which our brain is particularly active. Our eyes move rapidly under the eyelids and our dreams come to life. It is during this phase that a sort of mental cleansing occurs, in which we process emotions and consolidate memories. It is the moment when our creativity soars free, when our subconscious manifests itself in mysterious and profound forms. If REM sleep is disturbed, our mind may drown in the inability to process emotions, thus compromising our mental health and emotional balance. Then there is non-REM sleep, characterized by a series of deeper and regenerative phases, Miyoko continued. During this phase, our body repairs and regenerates, cells are renewed, and our muscles relax completely. It is during this phase that our body does its hardest work, repairing the damage of the previous day and preparing us for the challenges that await us when we wake up. Without adequate non-REM sleep, our bodies may weaken, making us more vulnerable to disease and infection, and our mind could be affected, with negative consequences also on a spiritual level. Therefore, my dears, do not underestimate the importance of preserving both phases of your sleep, giving it the time and space it deserves. Only in this way will you be rewarded with a life full of energy, vitality, and harmony. Miyoko, after this introduction, went on to list the risks associated with lack of sleep. One of the most obvious risks is decreased concentration, the monk explained. When we don't get enough sleep, our mind becomes cloudy and our ability to concentrate suffers. For example, a student who does not get enough sleep could compromise his or her academic performance. A doctor who has to make decisions related to the life and death of a patient could make very serious mistakes, and so on. The disciples nodded, reflecting on the many times they had experienced poor concentration due to lack of sleep. Another risk is increased hunger, Miyoko continued. When we are deprived of necessary sleep, our body tries to compensate for the lack of energy through food. This can lead to an imbalance in our levels of hunger and satiety, leading us to consume more food than we really need, with possible negative consequences on our health. The quality of sleep is also crucial for our immune system, Miyoko continued. During non-REM sleep, our body produces proteins called cytokines, which fight infection and disease. Therefore, if we do not give our body enough time to produce these precious proteins, our immune defenses weaken. This makes it more difficult for our body to fight viruses, bacteria, and infections of various kinds. Another important consequence of the lack of sleep that the monk spoke about was linked to damage to the cardiovascular system. When we don't get enough sleep, our body doesn't have time to recover and repair the damage that accumulates during the day, Miyoko said. This includes the cardiovascular system, which is particularly sensitive to lack of adequate rest. During sleep, in fact, blood pressure tends to decrease, giving the heart a period of rest and allowing the blood vessels to relax. However, if we don't get enough sleep, blood pressure can remain elevated for longer periods, creating excessive strain on our heart and blood vessels, which can become ill more easily. This is because sleep affects a number of factors that can influence cardiovascular health. Think about stress, inflammation, and blood glucose regulation. Therefore, it is essential to respect our sleep needs and ensure our body gets the rest it needs to maintain a healthy heart and an efficient circulatory system. Taking care of our sleep will not only improve our cardiovascular health, it will also contribute to our overall well-being and quality of life. My dears, continued the monk, now I also want to talk to you about the damage that lack of sleep can cause on mood and irritability. When we don't sleep enough, our brain doesn't have time to rest and regenerate as it should, and this can lead to a number of emotional problems such as irritability, nervousness, and emotional instability. As I explained to you previously, during sleep our brain processes emotions and regulates our stress levels, allowing us to better face the challenges of the day. However, if we don't sleep enough, our brain becomes overactive and hypersensitive to external stimuli, making us more susceptible to frustrations and more prone to impulsive reactions. Furthermore, poor quality and quantity of sleep can negatively affect our ability to concentrate and make rational decisions, thus increasing the risk of conflicts in interpersonal relationships and at work. While the disciples, increasingly involved in the Master's lesson, reflected on the many consequences of lack of sleep, Miyoko arrived at one of the aspects she cared about most. Sleep is a sacred moment in which we immerse ourselves in the realm of the unconscious, in contact with the deepest essence of our being, he said in a very serious tone of voice. While we sleep, our spirit frees itself from earthly worries and connects with the universal energies that surround us. However, if we don't get enough sleep, our connection to the divine can be compromised, making it difficult to access our true selves and our deepest insights. Furthermore, sleep is a time of regeneration for our body, mind, and spirit. Without adequate rest, we can feel tired and irritable, and this can slow our journey towards spiritual awakening and awareness. So, dear disciples, let us always remember to honor our sleep as a precious gift given to us to nourish our spirit and fuel our spiritual journey. One of the disciples, after having listened carefully to the monk's words, asked, "Master Miyoko, how can we improve the quality of our rest?" First of all, creating a relaxing evening routine, the monk said, dedicate at least 30 minutes each evening to practices that promote relaxation, such as reading a book, stretching, or practicing meditation. Also, before bed, avoid stressful stimuli such as electronic devices, and make sure that the environment in which you sleep is a sanctuary of tranquility and comfort. For example, adjust the room temperature so that it is neither too cool nor too hot, and darken the room to reduce external light and noise. Maintaining a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and limiting caffeine consumption are other things that can help improve the quality of your sleep. Therefore, avoid eating heavy meals or making excessive efforts just before going to bed, and also be aware of your circadian rhythm, trying to always go to bed and wake up at the same time. Let us always remember, added Miyoko, that sleep is a precious treasure that deserves our respect, and that investing in our rest not only helps us prevent physical illnesses, but also preserve mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And let's remember that in the frenetic world we live in, quality sleep is one of the best gifts we can give ourselves. So let us honor our rest as a sacred time to regenerate the body, renew the spirit, and fuel our personal growth.